Hello, my name is Vincent Fierro, and I am here today to speak to you all about a majestic species and their doomed fate. This presentation is about an animal species that is currently facing a terrible predicament and what options they have. Before I begin my presentation, I would like to speak to you all about the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance. They are a company, a non-profit organization that looks to take care of all these different endangered animals. They have two locations in San Diego, the San Diego Zoo and San Diego Safari Park, and I would recommend giving them a visit. Unlike most zoos who are just there for profits and just exploit their animals, they take good care of their animals. They give them giant habitats, they let them roam free, and every penny they make goes into helping those animals, not to enrich themselves. With that out of the way, let me introduce you to my animal. This is the northern white rhino. There's such power, yet such grace within them. They're certainly hefty, however. They're between 2 to 2.5 tons. They do eat almost entirely a grass-based diet, and they have abysmal eyesight. But they have an amazing sense of hearing and smell. They are quite the social animal, with the women and calves usually grouping up together to form their own little clique. And of course, during mating season, the males do intermingle with the females. They try and impress them. They can live for quite a long time, 5 decades in the wild, and if they're taken good care of, they can live even longer. But there is one more fact about them that should be mentioned. They are doomed. This beautiful species has been hunted to the point of being, well, for all intents and purposes, they're extinct. There's only 2 left in the world, and they are in humanity's care. We have track of them. They are in Kenya, but they cannot be bred. There would be no genetic diversity, and I'm assuming they could breed because they're both females, both of which way past the age of fertility. How did this happen? Why was the species, in all its majesty, hunted to this point of near extinction, where in a century's time they won't exist? How did humanity let this happen? This is not a new fact of life. Due to their temperament in being less aggressive, more gentle compared to their cousins, the black rhino, they make it easier to hunt for sport. It's a lot easier to attack something that won't directly fight back unless completely necessary. The black rhinos fight back. Hunters learned that white rhinos do that far less. And in countries where hunting and poaching wasn't quite as regulated for a very long time, many hunters simply found it fun. They found sport in hunting the white rhino. This led to the reduction of the southern white rhino population, but as you can see, it also led to the annihilation of the northern white rhino population. But surely sport hunting couldn't have done all this. Clearly, there's gotta be something else, some other reason why rhinos were hunted. But why? Why else would rhinos be hunted in the way they were? This brings me to the myth of the rhino horn. Many cultures, many of them having roots in Asia, believe the rhino's horn has magical powers. They believe that within the horns is a special medicinal trait, and that if they could extract it, they could heal the sick. They could heal the wounded. In these cultures, demand for these horns is quite high. And if there's demand, many entrepreneurs, no matter how twisted they are, will decide that there can also be a source. There will also be a supply. Now, humans are panicky. When people get sick, or when the people they love get sick, and nothing is working, there's nothing that can alleviate it, they panic. They become desperate. They become foolish. But is there any truth to these medicinal properties? Perhaps these beliefs aren't as foolish as presumed. Maybe, just maybe, these people are right.
No, of course not.
Of course they're not! Rhino horns are almost completely comprised of keratin. Is keratin some form of magic, some healing property? No! It's a protein in epithelial cells on both the inside and outside of the body. If I wanted a good source of keratin, I'd chew my hair. I'd chew my nails. That's what the rhino horn is the equivalent of. A major factor in the destruction of a species was accomplished with a haircut. That's the equivalent. The foolishness of humanity, the folly of man, has led us to this. A point where a species is being hunted into extinction for nothing. But we know this now. We can do something about it. We can stop this. It's too late. With no males left and no fertile females left, nothing we can do can help the species. All we can do is make the surviving members of the species comfortable for the rest of our lives. And in 5 decades' time, the northern white rhino will be nothing more than a memory. We failed this species. We, as humanity, have failed the species. Humanity was blessed with the power to create life, and we chose to take it. Thus ends my presentation.